Hey everybody, it's Coach Tiana and I am coming to you with a topic that's a little bit different today. I want to talk to you today around pre-existing conditions in the coronavirus. We have learned some things about COVID-19 from the medical community, and one of the things that is becoming more and more clear is that people with pre-existing conditions, underlying medical conditions that are already in their body, when they catch COVID-19, it tends to reap worse outcomes for people with pre-existing conditions because it lays on top of whatever else is there. It taxes the body in addition to whatever is already present in the body. I read an interesting article that was shared online recently around Italy and the fact that now that the restrictions are loosening, they are seeing an increase in divorce rates and people filing for divorce. Now that people can get out and about, they are going to see divorce lawyers. They are going to the court systems so that they can unravel and dismantle their marriage agreements. And one of the interesting conversations around that is whether, the coronavirus is increasing divorce rates. I would say we really should be asking what were the pre-existing conditions in those relationships. You see, whatever was in your life before COVID-19 is still there. But this situation is putting pressure on the world, on families, on individuals, putting pressure on people who are sick and people who love people who are sick. Even for healthy individuals, we're under stay-at-home orders, we're under shelter-in-place orders, and whatever is present in our lives pre-coronavirus will still be here and will be illuminated during this time. So relationships that were already in trouble are being shown for those pre-existing conditions. People who were on a ledge financially before the coronavirus, COVID-19 is pushing those conditions over the edge in some cases. So we all are in a situation where this particular point in time, we're basically being forced to confront our pre-existing conditions. A family that had a lot of division and strife, discontentment, that family is still going to have that post-coronavirus during this crisis, except there's nowhere to go, because when external conditions fade and you have to go inside is the only place you can go. Do you understand? So whatever is happening inside your life, there is nowhere else you can place that in order to deal with it. You have to deal with it inside. So as frustrating as it can be for something so devastating, don't get me wrong, COVID-19 is a destructive force, but wherever there is destruction, there has to be construction at some point. This is an opportunity for you to look at the things that are pre-existing, that have become exacerbated by this, and ask yourself, what are you going to construct after this? It's just like a building that experiences fire, right? A fire comes and destroys a building and burns it beyond repair. What happens in that case is they send out construction crews, demolition crews in this place, and knock everything down. Then eventually the rubble's taken away. After a while, that lot may grow grass, or someone will come along, look at it. If it's in a good location and there's opportunity there, they will rebuild in that very same spot where the destruction occurred. So this is really an opportunity for you to look at all areas of your life. If you've overly invested in one area of your life, you might be in the middle of a personal crisis right now, because whatever it is that you've been managing as a condition of your life may have been magnified. That's okay. It's there at the surface so you can deal with it. The best advice I can give anyone right now, and this is advice I'm taking myself, look at what it is that you need to confront. Deal with the underlying conditions in your body, in your mind, in your family, in your work life or lack thereof, with your personal development, your community. Whatever was there is being brought to the surface. It's being brought to the surface because now is the time to deal with it. I sympathize with people who are losing everything right now, because there are people who are losing things that they've worked really hard for, businesses that they've created, jobs that they've invested in, and careers that they've spent a lot of time doing. And I am not minimizing that. I've been in a situation more than one time of losing everything and having to start all over again. I understand, and it's a scary thing. For me, the underlying condition for those times in my life was fear of failure, fear of being poor. A lot of successful people have a fear not of getting sick. Sometimes people have a fear of failure. And if you're facing failure right now, not of your doing, please believe me, I understand that. But until you face it, it will always present itself. It'll just be another time that you deal with it and face it. So you can't bury it and think it will go away. It will come back up to the surface. Whatever you're afraid of, really. And that's why fear is such a powerful motivator in some cases, because although fear can motivate you to change, it's an awful taskmaster. It must be confronted. I acknowledge that not everybody who is here on earth will remain here. Some people will leave us as a result of this crisis. And so if your fear is facing death, what are you going to do with that? I'm not saying rush out looking for an opportunity to face death, and not by no means am I saying that. But if you're afraid, what is it that you're afraid of and why? Understanding that and confronting it within yourself and finding a healthy way to manage that is going to lead you out of this crisis with a renewed sense of empowerment and purpose, and also a sense of knowing that whatever your fears were before COVID-19, that you can face them, that you can handle whatever comes your way. And that's something that's worth finding out. So we don't really have much of a choice in this situation. We have a choice, we always do. Otherwise, I wouldn't talk so much about the power of choice. But right now, internally, what are you going to do? I encourage you to do whatever you can to come out of this situation with a different perspective, a better perspective for managing and eliminating the pre-existing conditions of your life. It's a rare opportunity to do that because everybody has to be in the same spot right now. So what are you going to do? Some people will turn to their faith. They'll turn to God and ask God for help. Some people will turn to their vices. Some people will turn to each other, and some people will turn against each other. And we're seeing that play out everywhere. The one thing that we all kind of scratched our heads about at the beginning of the coronavirus, at least here in the United States where I live, is there was a rush to buy toilet paper in the United States. The supply chain experts, paper industry experts, businesses that create toilet paper, they all told us there's no shortage. There's not going to be a shortage of toilet paper. Yet, that's what we went out and bought in large quantities. The only explanation that I can think of for that is fear. Fear will make you do some strange things sometimes. Don't act on your fear, but do confront it. Do confront the things that already were pre-existing conditions. You'll come out better. You'll come out better. Hopefully this helps someone. If it did help you, leave a comment. If it didn't help you, leave a comment. Maybe I can take that as constructive criticism, either way. I just wanted to share this because it was really heavy on my mind today. I hope each and every one of you stay safe. I hope that all of your loved ones stay safe. And also, I hope that every person listening to the sound of my voice right now, that you're all made better by this experience and have a good foundation going forward. I'll talk to you soon. This is Coach Tiana. Bye.